And we're back with the third round. We have Hamza Ebrahim against Edward Bell. And Hamza's on Dredge, Edward on Giant Death Shadow. In this match, I'm pretty sure Dredge is favored by a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So what's their Shadow's plan? Use a whole bunch of hand-aid spells to decimate the opponent, and Dredge is trying to do that to itself anyway.
Yeah, I think the only real way Death Shadow wins this match is by going, get my Death Shadow as like a 10-10 or similar sized, and then go Team of Battle Rage.
Sure. I don't. Is that a thing?
That's
That can
how they
happen?
normally win. It
That
can happen.
does.
I'm not sure if Edward's list is playing it. I'll go through it now.
Oh,
Yeah, he's playing two Team of Battle Rage. The Giant version
okay.
generally plays it. So yeah, players looks like they're looking at their hands.
Yeah. So
Hamza,
Hamza rolled a 9. I didn't see what Edward rolled.
but yeah, most of the time it's generally Dredge that comes out on top in this match. Like Death Shadow can win it just by being aggressive at attacking.
And if Hamza does the classic conflagrate for 0 start, it's not ideal.
It's not the best. I mean, maybe as Cathartic Reunion into something decent. Bobble looking at Hamza's top card, drawing a card in Hamza's upkeep. Let's actually see if we can get a look at Hamza's hand. Actually, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't look.
Okay, so he's just gonna throw some damage at Edward's face and then get started dredging turn 3.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, against Death Shadow, it's generally good principle to just
Oh my
sort of.
goodness. So he just thought seized. And he's left with free creature and 3 dredges. 2 Stinker Imp and a Golgari Thug.
Edward played basic swamp for that, so yeah, done 18. So okay, good principle playing against Death Shadow. Only start attacking them when they hit 13.
Fair enough. Let them do the work for you.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Um,
until they hit under 13. You don't want to hit them into playing
13.
Death Shadow.
Sure.
But like most of the time, you're just wasting attacks. You don't want like they're gonna end up picking it anyway. So like you get to a point where they're gonna start sacking lands and then fetching like tapped lands. So you're just wasting damage.
Yeah.
It's a different story if you have creatures on the field, but at the same time, you don't need to make their Death Shadows bigger than it needs to be.
Yeah, because then you need to stop leaving guys back to
Yeah.
block because you could die in the swing back. I see Hamza's just gonna unload his hand into the graveyard, which I think he has to do here just so he can get started.
So yeah, Hamza down to 14. He goes up to 16 because of that.
He goes up to 16 because of?
The brutality, I believe he picked all three modes.
Where do you see the brutality?
He cast it. Oh wait, he cast Bloodgast. Yes.
No, he cast a conflagrate,
Oh sure, discarding his hand.
discarding, I think it was 4 or 5 cards, I'm uncertain.
It would be 3 because he had 4. One got Thoughtseize, he drew a card for the turn and he played with Bloodgast plus land.
4, okay.
Miss trigger, so Edward doesn't draw the card. Not sure how they remedied it.
I think that's what they've called down over.
Yeah.
You can see him off
So yeah, it was configured for 4.
So it would be on 14.
And I'm just shocked, not shock sack. And shock. I was almost certain he cast brutality there, but yeah, configured. Just hitting his opponent down. I don't think he needed to configure there.
I think he did. He needed to get a Dredge into the graveyard along with that Plasma Amalgam.
But if he had brutality, he could just discard to it.
He didn't have brutality. He had Golgari Thug,
Oh, it
two
was
imps,
Golgari.
and a
Sure.
Amalgam.
Brutality's in the sideboard. It's
Yes.
my bad.
Okay, it just seems that the judge is clearing something up for the players. Okay, not sure what the confusion is. It must have been over the bauble trigger.
Yeah, I think possibly Edward saying I'm just playing a bit too fast. Don's initial judgment was it's just a missed trigger, which would mean he doesn't draw the card, I'm going to assume.
I think we're at regular REL, so
Yeah,
they're
so
going
it
to be a
doesn't
bit
really
more
matter.
lenient.
Yeah. Competitive, possibly missed the draw.
Yeah, if it's competitive, it's on you. You probably get failure to maintain. I don't know. I'm not a judge.
True. So yeah, Edward going to 14 means fairly close to casting Death Shadow.
Yeah, I see if he's thinking of playing a fetch land. Be interesting to see where he takes his turn. I see he's got a Tarfire in the front of his hand, although I don't think he wants to kill that Bloodghast just yet.
I think that's what. Just passing the turn, possibly going to ping the Bloodghast with the Tarfire.
Oh, there's a
Knock
Narcomoeba. That's pretty
Must
good.
be nice. Yeah, worst card to draw.
Base card to throw straight into your graveyard from your deck. Okay, so Hamza's probably going to move to combat.
Yeah, attacking for 2, putting it down to 12.
Okay, Hamza's shuffling part of his graveyard over there, so let's not confuse that with his hand.
Yeah, Plasma Amalgam comes back. Edward is going to take a point. Fetching Bloodstained Mire. Is he shocking footed?
Did you manage to see any death shadows in Edward's
I think
hand?
I saw 2.
Oh dear. So what do you think he's going to do? Kill the Narcomoeba and then go double death shadow this turn?
Yeah, the top 5 is probably killing the Narcomoeba because the Bloodghasts have haste now. Okay,
So that's just putting an enabler in
sure.
Hamza's graveyard.
Yeah.
Also, the Narcomoeba could do some work, seeing as it has flying.
Yeah, Edward shocking going to 7.
That's a... It's reverse into...
I could have been mistaken. Maybe it was 2 Street Deaths in Edward's hand.
Sure. Okay, and here we're just witnessing one of the problems with the modern format. It's a lot of admin in your searching and shuffling and admin and so on.
Okay.
It was just fixing the way he taps his mana there. So that Death Shadow is now a... How big is that Death Shadow?
It's a 6/6.
It's not a small guy.
Well, I can just pick in for 1 every couple of turns.
Yeah.
Dredge a million lands.
Yeah, Hamza would have liked to make his third land drop by now. The Stink with him would have been a pretty good blocker.
I'm just holding back because doesn't want to die to Edward's swing.
Sure. I think it would have been okay for him to get in with that Narcomoeba.
Yeah, the thing is, it just grows. Like, it literally just grows the Death Shadow at this point.
Fair enough.
So now Hamza's more than likely going to block with the
Okay.
knock amoeba? Okay.
I think his plan is to dredge the Tacmo salvage.
But if he was dredging the salvage, wouldn't it just be better to block with the Plasma
Oh, is
Molder?
that what he's going to do? He's dredging the. Oh, that's a very good dredge. He's dredged the Golgari Thug, which you can actually cast.
Yeah.
And it's got a very interesting trigger of
When you cast it,
when
oh,
it
it
dies,
does.
you put a creature from your graveyard on top of your deck. It's actually quite good in this deck. Because what you can do is you then put a Narcomoeba on top.
And you dredge the knock amoeba and you get back all
Well,
your
you dredge
Molder.
the Thug, which mulls the Narcomoeba and brings your boys back.
As you can see, you're the one that played the deck, not me.
Yeah. So I think the reason I sold it is because the Golgari Thug version was just, the Golgari Grave Troll version was too good.
9 out of 10 ban. 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Ban.
And it got unbanned and it got rebanned, which I couldn't even say was surprising. But this version actually seems like it might have more play because of that Thug in situations like this, in the way the meta's lined up now.
And actually, like, Edward took 3 there, so down to 4.
Yeah, so he'd need double removal spell.
Yeah, doesn't look like he has it.
And Hamza just needs to stay above 30.
Okay, so Edward's cycling looking for Team of Battle Rage, which will possibly just win the game on the spot.
Will definitely just win the game on the spot.
Plays a Tarmogoyf. Can't go down to 1 because the Narcomoeba's there.
But he's on 2, and he only has 2 blockers. Do we have these life totals correct? Okay, let's play a land, get a hasty back, and kill dude.
The thing is, Edward could just be saying I have a removal spell, so that's why.
Sure,
that would
I
fine.
didn't realize he has untapped mana.
Only 1 though. Well, technically 2, but he'll die to the Narcomoeba at
Narcomoeba.
that
Then
point.
he's forced to kill the Narcomoeba.
Yeah, just go sideways. Everything.
Make him have it.
Yeah.
There we go.
And that is game.
Okay, so that's pretty much what we expected for game 1. Probably could have gone a lot smoother for Hamza if he had a third land to play.
I mean, he's favored already. He doesn't need all the luck with it.
Well, even just a regular dredge type hand.
True. But as you see, like, Giant Death Shadow just actually hurts itself so much that
Yeah, you could have one of your slower starts and still be okay. So what can we expect the Jan deck to bring in?
well,
I see surgical extractions.
there's like Lingering Souls, which doesn't do super. It's not super good, but it is something.
Yeah, it buys enough
Surgical
time.
Extraction is definitely going to come in.
Outside of that, I'm not liking much else.
Like, probably Danger of Eos, just so you can get.
Close the game
Closer,
out if you
yeah.
get that far. I don't like any of the planeswalkers in here.
The problem is, on Edward's side, there's so many, like, not very good draws. Tootsie is not exactly
Yeah, like
appealing.
even your best hand against the normal modern format is just gonna fall flat against the Sledge deck.
It's just like, I don't know, you probably have to just leave in Inquisition, take out all your Thoughtseizes, and then bring in Lingering
Probably
Souls.
your planeswalkers too. Maybe keep in
Danger
the
of
last hope
Eos.
to eat through.
Yeah, keep in
The one toughness guys.
Lily of the Last Hope, like, get rid of the Lily of the Veils, and then, like, Surgical Extraction in, Ranger of Eos in,
Extra fatal push, I guess.
possibly.
Like it all depends on how much trash you want to take out of your main board.
Doesn't change the fact that this is really not a good matchup for him.
Not at all.
Hamza's side, very different. Like, he has access to Bajuka Bog.
Yeah, that's a good one. Abrupt Decay laughs at this deck. What do you think of Note to the Bone? Does that say you gain or target
I'm
player
pretty
gains?
sure it's you gain. You gain life equal to the
If
amount of
that's
creatures
his
in your
target
graveyard.
player gains, you could just blow some rather large death shadows off the face of the battlefield.
Yeah. I mean, even Thoughtseize isn't terrible on Hamza's side. I wouldn't bring it in this match.
It depends on what Hamza expects
Yeah.
Edward to be packing. Like you could be expecting ravenous traps and stuff like that. Um,
Problem is like a lot of these Death Shadow decks and a lot of people in Cape Town, you don't expect to play against Dredge. I think I'm just the only one that's playing it at the moment.
I think
And
Hamza and James are the only ones that
sure.
I've seen playing it at the moment.
So yeah, it's not even you don't you should have hateful graveyards because Death Shadow is popular and so is Grixis Control here.
Yes.
So you should have some form of hate. The surgical extractions are very
Yeah,
common.
that seems like the entry level graveyard hate that you're gonna find in a black sideboard. Or a modern sideboard, I suppose, seeing as that it doesn't cost actual black mana
Yeah, Notes
most
of
of
the
the
Bone
time.
could be interesting. The other problem with that though is Edward still plays like Tarmogoyfs and he could still just go Alpha Swing in if Hamza's life total gets low. So well then you may as well just want to gain life for yourself
True.
at this point.
It's just that it would deal such large chunks.
The other side that Hamza has is he doesn't really need to sideboard anything out.
No, the only thing maybe he'd trim on some life from the loams.
Yeah.
Um, but
Maybe
after
cut
game,
a conflict rate, but that's also like really good anyway.
I like conflict late. Like
Mm.
Edward likes to go down to pretty low life
Then
totals.
you can just finish him off.
Exactly.
Well, players are getting started now.
I'll assume Edward chose to play first. I see what looks like double fatal push in hand.
And we do see the lingering souls. So he did side
Okay.
that in.
So this is the kind of hand that will lull you in a full sense of security against the Dredge deck. Because you think you can, hang in there for a while, but
I mean, hanging in for a while is like, okay, it's still going to be inevitable at some point.
yes, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So like Lingering Souls is the kind of card that gives you hope in this matchup, but then you realize your opponent's just gonna play Conflagrate and absolutely clear them out and get you
You
dead.
could just configure your face because you kill yourself.
Well, I mean, it depends on the cards we have in hand and so on. Ah, there we go. The
Discarding
life
life
from the
from the
loam,
loam.
dredge it. So this is in Edward's end step.
Yep. Hits a stinkweed imp.
Yeah, so he's gonna dredge 5 here of the Stinker Imp.
I mean, that's 3 life from the loams there. It's not exactly the most
Okay.
impressive of Dredge so far. Cathartic Reunion would be pretty strong. We'll see Hamza sack and fetch. Probably a stomping down. Actually,
I think you might
blood
go
grip.
for Black Source here.
So yeah, blood grip because that's 17. Edward like not even taking damage, not sacking his fetch lands just yet.
Yeah, I think he's gonna want to go for a combo kill at some stage. It's his best hope. Oh dear. Okay, so this is the most explosive turn 2 the deck can have. Casting Cathartic Reunion, depending on what you discard. So we know he's got minimum of life from the lump stink with him. But he might want to find place for a prized amalgam in there, seeing as there are the dredges.
Yeah, he does have the prize amalgam as well.
Okay, so this could be very explosive. You're going to start with 5 cards.
And there's a Nakami plus
And-
prized amalgam.
Wow, this is looking great so far. Okay, he's looking for his next dredger to replace the draw. He's going to go with Life from the Loam, which dredges another 3 cards.
And the third prized amalgam.
This is absolutely brutal. So he's going to go for another Life from the Loam to replace the third draw of Cathartic Reunion. Flip another 3 cards.
And yeah,
There he hits a Conflagrate, which is a wombo combo with the Life from the Loams that he just got back.
also I believe he has 2 Bloodghasts in his graveyard as well.
Yeah, so this is looking like a great start.
Plus double conflict rate.
Yeah,
Things looking grim
and
for Edward.
what is that? A Walking Dead or a Haunted Dead?
Yeah.
To bring the team back in at the end of Edward's second main phase, if needs be. But I mean, the fact that Hamza has 9 power on the board, putting Edward on a 2-turn clock, you could probably get his hand size up to something significant with that Life from the Loam and just probably end the game next turn. He could
Well, it
choose...
wouldn't be next turn because he still needs the mana to cast the conflict rate.
Sure, good
So it
point.
would be the turn after.
But I mean, could he not Life from the Loam Okay, so there's no way for him to get Edward below 10 unless Edward does that himself.
Yes.
And if he does, he's going to be in for a world of hurt.
I think if Edward drops at 10 or below, and
Well, you
Hamza,
can't go below 10 because when Hamza
sure.
attacks, he'll just be dead.
So if Edward drops to like anything equal to Hamza's hand size
Exactly.
plus 10, he kind of just will die on the spot.
Yeah. So I think he's going to go for double fatal push here. But I think that just deals him the same amount of damage as if the amalgams just hit him.
Yeah, so he took 4 from shocking himself, so he goes on to 14. And the Bloodghasts are going to come back next turn almost certainly, alongside 2 more prized amalgams. He has to fetch basic,
So
I
is his
think.
plan to go Lingering Souls this turn? Because I don't think that's going to work out the way he wants it to.
And yeah, he does fetch basic first. Staying on exactly 13.
Asking Hamza to do the rest of the work for him.
And he has to Lingering Souls. The Souls would like kill a knock amoeba, but Hamza doesn't care at this point.
Well,
It's done its job.
Oh,
Street Death.
is he planning on putting
11.
a Death Shadow down? No, it's the Lingering
That's still
Souls.
Lingering Souls.
So the Conflagrate I think is going to come into play here.
Yeah, kill 2 soul tokens. Discard my hand.
Or it might even be just attack into the souls, force him to block, and then the Conflagrate for the next set of souls. Because you could go Flashback Souls Tarmogoyf next turn.
And he's dredging Dakmor Salvage. Life from the Loam.
Oh,
more than
wow.
likely.
So what he could do is he could go play land, get back Bloodghast, flashback on Flagrate, kill the souls, deal Edward 1, put him to 10, and then hit him with both the Bloodghasts. Which is a fine turn.
Oh, he's actually just gonna go for the conservative route and play Life from the Loam, get back more lands.
Well, if that was your plan, why didn't you... Oh,
he's playing a Bloodghast.
He can't, he doesn't have the mana. Oh, he's
Oh.
Conflagrating. Right.
Sure.
Yeah, so he's doing what I suggested. He's going to do that and do 1 to...
Edward, so he goes exactly to 10.
Yes.
3 Bloodghasts come back and attack for 10 exactly.
Is it 3 Bloodghasts? Wow, that's amazing. With a click on the stack, Edward goes for surgical extraction on the Bloodghasts. That changes things quite dramatically. Although I still think Hamza's in okay shape here. He will... Shouldn't that Conflagrate be in exile, or is that a third copy?
There's a third copy, I believe. No? It's... Yeah, that's a third copy.
Okay, so you need to be careful that... Wait,
The one is exiled.
there we go. Okay. How did Hamza's hand go to the graveyard now? Because he didn't discard his whole hand. That's confusing.
I'm almost certain he had more Life from the Loams in hand.
I know he discarded at least one of them to the Conflagrate, but...
Did he only have 3 cards in hand?
I remember him revealing them to the surgical extraction.
Well, his hand disappeared at this point.
I mean, Edward has to commit to the board here, and Life from the Loam. So you pass with just mana up.
Yeah, it's like Life from the Loam, play a land.
So I think we just do some combat first here. Or not.
Yeah, I think you play the second
I
land
think the plan is
or
to play
fourth
the
land.
second land, so that instead of the conflagrate, you still have the option of what is that? A Glaptike. Yeah.
Yes, promo Raptike, Edward takes 1, goes to 7.
I think he's gonna play the gemstone mine here so that he can bring back the haunted dead and have 2 cards to
Yeah,
discard to it.
does not. Oh, okay, I was like, doesn't play it? That's somewhat worrisome. So yeah, I'm just gonna default his board at this point.
So yeah, Edward's gonna need to have another surgical extraction to stop this.
And I
Looks
don't
like he
believe he
has Lily
does.
and
Street Death.
okay, well, Sleepleth could get him there.
And he scoops it up.
I think that was a bit aggressive. He still had the line of play Lily, minus buyback Sleepleth, throw another card. So he could have gotten super lucky there and gotten out of that game.
Although if he does that, you'll have to
Oh, he just died
exile.
to the Haunted Dead coming back with 3 power.
Well, no, you could exile the Haunted Dead
Sure. And then there's basically no way for the Price Amalgams
to come back.
So
But then he
that
died to the
option.
Conflict the next turn.
It's worth a try. Like
No, because he'd be on exactly 3. And then he would
so
trade
the
July
maths
from the
works
loan back.
out, but I don't think you just give up when you're a
Yeah.
game down. You go for something.
Although, like, we expected it to go this way. It wasn't.
Yeah, this isn't a favorable matchup, which is why I always advocate to do something even though it's a little bit outside of the box and try and get across the line.
Although, even though it was favored, it was a lot closer game 1 than it should have been. And the surgical
That-
nearly pulled him through.
That wasn't close at all. If it
Sure.
wasn't for that surgical extraction, there was nothing going on. And with 2 cards in 60 being your only hope, I don't count that as close.
Sure.
You'd have to get super lucky for that to be the case. Like we could watch them play this game out 100 times.
Ironically, if he had been playing normal Junt with Anger of the Gods in the sideboard, he would have had a
A
better
lot more
match.
favorable. There's a lot of sorcery speed priced amalgams going on there.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the game. We'll see you guys in the next round.